Over 2 millennia ago, a trader named Zeno lived on the Mediterranean island of Cyprus. By all outward standards, he had achieved what many would call success. His business prospered, his reputation was solid, and his future appeared secure. Carefully built through years of strategic trading and disciplined effort. Then, in a single voyage, it all unraveled. While crossing the sea, his ship was caught in a brutal storm. The vessel was destroyed, the cargo swallowed by the water, and the wealth Zeno had accumulated over a lifetime vanished instantly. It wasn't the result of recklessness or miscalculation, just pure chance. Pause for a moment and place yourself in that position. Imagine watching years of dedication erased by something you had no power to prevent. What reaction would feel natural? Rage would make sense. Hopelessness would be reasonable. Feeling wronged by fate would be almost unavoidable. Yet Zeno responded in an unexpected way. Rather than obsessing over what had been taken from him, he shifted his focus inward. Losing everything became the defining moment that redirected his life, and ultimately gave rise to a philosophical system that still shapes how people think today. From that loss emerged Stoicism. At its heart, Stoicism isn't about denying pain or shutting down emotion. Instead, it emphasizes a clear distinction between what we can influence and what lies beyond our control. External events may be unpredictable, but our judgments, choices, and reactions remain ours alone. Zeno understood that while the storm was unavoidable, his response to it was not. Instead of resisting reality, he practiced acceptance, not surrender, but steady awareness. He trained himself to remain composed, rational, and grounded, even as circumstances collapse around him. Over time, Stoicism grew beyond a personal mindset into a comprehensive way of life. Today, Stoicism is often misunderstood as emotional detachment or indifference. Historically, that was never its aim. The Stoics did not seek to eliminate feeling. They sought freedom from being ruled by it. They also believed wisdom should be accessible to everyone. Philosophical discussions took place in public spaces, not behind closed doors, because Stoic thinkers viewed insight as a shared human right. As a result, the philosophy attracted individuals from every level of society: former slaves, educators, political leaders, and emperors. Epictetus, once enslaved, Seneca, a powerful Roman advisor, and Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who ruled much of the known world, all embraced the same core belief. Personal character outweighs external circumstance. Early Stoics challenged strict social hierarchies. They argued that all people belong to a single human community, what they called being citizens of the world. In an era defined by inequality, they insisted that reason and virtue were not limited by wealth, gender, or social rank. Wisdom, to them, was universal. So why does Stoicism still feel relevant today? Because modern life is filled with uncertainty. Disruptions, disappointments, and uncontrollable outcomes are inevitable. Much of our frustration doesn't come from events themselves, but from how unprepared we are for them. Think about rain. Rain is essential for life, but when it arrives unexpectedly, it becomes a nuisance. The issue isn't the rain, it's the expectation of clear skies. Stoicism teaches that life operates the same way. By anticipating difficulty, by accepting that loss, discomfort, and failure are possible, we reduce their emotional impact. One Stoic technique, often called voluntary discomfort, reflects this principle. By deliberately embracing small challenges, cold exposure, simple food, fewer conveniences, people remind themselves of their own resilience. These practices foster gratitude and mental toughness, preparing the mind for larger trials. In a culture that constantly links happiness to possessions, titles, and achievements, this philosophy offers a powerful alternative. When we anchor our well-being to external rewards, we hand our peace over to things that can disappear at any moment. Stoicism points inward instead. It encourages grounding self-worth in what cannot be taken away: values, intentions, and ethical choices. This idea is known as the dichotomy of control, the recognition that some things depend on us while others never will. Confusing the two leads to unnecessary suffering. Separating them brings clarity and calm. Effort is within our power. Results often are not. This applies even today. You can plan carefully, work hard, and act with discipline, yet outcomes are still shaped by forces beyond you. Stoicism teaches that true success lies not in external validation, but in the integrity of one's effort. The philosophy is anchored by four central virtues: wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice. Wisdom means knowing what you can and cannot control. Courage is acting despite fear of uncertainty. Moderation is understanding limits and avoiding excess. Justice recognizes that our actions affect others and that fairness matters. These principles are far from outdated. They influence modern psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, and resilience training. Techniques used today to reframe thoughts, cope with adversity, and rebuild after loss echo Stoic teachings developed centuries ago. Stoicism doesn't promise comfort or ease. It offers something more durable: stability, a way to move through uncertainty without being overwhelmed, a framework for maintaining peace even when life falls apart. Because every journey eventually reaches its end, and when it does, the Stoics believed the measure of a life is not its length, but its quality.